Now, before we understand the diet, let us understand what a meal is. Every time you sit down to have a meal, dinner, lunch, name it, all the dishes that have been presented to you. For example, I have matoke or sweet potatoes, then I have chicken, and maybe this chicken is a stew, and then I have some fruits, and maybe these fruits have been cut into salad, and then I have some vegetables, and maybe these vegetables have been sauteed. That means I have chicken, stew, sauteed vegetables, mixed fruit drink, and probably steamed sweet potatoes. And then I eat my potatoes with my chicken, I add my vegetables, and drink the fruit drink. Now, these 4 dishes constitute a meal. A meal can be narrower, it can be broader. A meal, therefore, simply is a collection. It is a set of these dishes which I have eaten at one sitting. I have eaten all these dishes at once. Not that I ate, then I went away 10 minutes, I come back 30 minutes later. It was 1 o'clock when I was having lunch, now it's 3. It becomes a meal when I have collectively eaten these dishes at that particular sitting. A collection of dishes eaten at one sitting. Now, if I ate at 2 and now it's 4, those are 2 different meals. And we can have more than 1 meal a day. That would be the healthier way. The main meals of the day include breakfast, lunch, and supper, or you can call it dinner. However, we have in-between meals. What we call an in-between, it is breakfast, it is lunch, but I can have something in between. And those things we usually have in between are called snacks. To snack. A snack constitutes a bite and a drink. A bite and a drink. It is not a snack if you're just drinking or you're just biting. The drink washes down the bite. The bite could be containing maybe a collection of nutrients or less, but it is healthier if it has more than one ingredient, rather more than one nutrient, more like a stuffed food. For example, if I have samosas or pies, the carbohydrates are there, the vitamins, the minerals, everything is there. And then I wash it down with a glass of milk, with some tea, with a fruit drink, whatever beverage it could be. That means if I consider breakfast, break, or mid-morning snack, lunch, evening snack, dinner, or supper, when I put all these meals of the day together, they constitute what I have eaten in that day. That means those are my daily, I can say that is my daily consumption, my daily meals. If I consider it today, tomorrow, and the next day, what I usually eat, that becomes my diet. I consider Monday to Friday, last week, next week, the other week. That becomes my diet. The diet basically answers a question of what do I usually eat. We said a meal is a collection of dishes. Then the diet becomes a collection of meals eaten over a long period of time, not just this 1 hour, not even just one day. So sometimes when you want to understand what people usually eat, you will have to spend more time with these people. So what is a diet? A diet is a constitution of what I usually eat, or the collection of meals eaten over a long period of time. To understand what people eat, you carry out what they call a diet survey. You do a survey of my diet. But to get correct answers, you can't talk to me or observe me for one day. You have to observe me for more than a day, sometimes for even months, because it could just be that day I happen to eat that. Now you want to understand, do I usually eat fruits? Do I usually eat, am I a vegetarian? Am I usually affected by this kind of food? Do I usually include this kind of food? How is the food I usually eat prepared? You have to observe me over a long period of time, and that takes a diet survey. The results of a diet survey will then be correct and can be used and applied in whatever way you may choose. What is a balanced diet? A diet is a set of meals that I usually eat, and you can only observe that over a long period of time. It is important to have a balanced diet, meaning in consideration of the nutrients, which we know to be 6: proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, lipids, and water. In consideration of those 6, the food I usually eat, does it contain those nutrients? All of them, because they're all important in the body. After ticking that all of them are there, or one is missing, we move on from looking at these 6, and we go deeper and we say, in what amounts are these 6 being consumed in someone's diet? For example, how much protein is the adult consuming? Is it equal to the one the child is consuming in that same family? And if yes, do they have the same protein needs? In other words, the family's consumption of protein, is it enough for both the mother and the baby who is weaning? Or is it enough for both the child who is the toddler and the grandmother? So in considering a balanced diet, we want to look, is the nutrient present? In what amounts is this nutrient present? When you relate it to the amounts required by the body of a given person, is it enough? Is it proportional? For it to be a balanced diet, the nutrients must be present. They must be in amounts which are proportional to the needs of the body of that person. But then also you can look at me today, and 3 days later I'm unwell, I fall sick. Now the protein need may have been enough for me yesterday when you looked at me, but because I have fallen sick, I may need more to boost my immunity and to repair the worn out cells. Meaning, a balanced diet is not a constant thing. It can be nutrients are present in amounts proportional to the needs of my body yesterday, but not today. So we go further and we say they should be proportional to the needs of the body of an individual at a particular time. A pregnant mother, their nutritional needs are not the same as when they were not pregnant. Neither will they be the same as when they have given birth and they are lactating. Neither will they be the same after lactation. The nutritional needs of an elderly person are not the same as they were when they were just adults. Neither were they the same when they were adolescents, and neither were they the same when they were toddlers. The balanced diet should contain all that 6 nutrients in amounts which are proportional to the needs of the body of an individual, but that is also at a particular time. Therefore, there is a possibility that you could provide nutrients, but not all of them. You could provide in amounts proportional to the needs of the body, but not for all nutrients. They could all be okay, but for some individuals and not for all individuals, or not at all times. Malnutrition will occur if for a long period of time you have provided nutrients in amounts which are not proportional to the needs of the body of different people and at different times. For example, if the human body of a manual worker requires 1,200 kilocalories of energy per day, but for you the calories you're providing are only 800, then we shall say that person who is the manual worker that requires this energy to do all this hard labor is undernourished for calories. It means you're providing calories in amounts. Calories is the measure for energy, in amounts which are less than the body requires. Let's go to a vitamin. If you are providing vitamin A to a child in amounts less than they require, then that child will be undernourished for vitamin A. Everything else might be okay, but they are undernourished for vitamin A. And to draw the whole picture, the overall picture, they are kind of malnourished. They are not having a balanced diet, even if only one nutrient is the problem. So undernourishment, therefore, occurs when a person is receiving one or more nutrients in quantities or in proportions which are not coinciding, which are not correlating to the needs of the body of that individual at that time. Meaning, overnutrition, the condition where you are giving more than a need of any nutrient, anyone, is also not okay. So overnutrition, you are giving more than I need. Undernutrition, you are giving less than I need. Overgiven nutrient, the amounts are out of proportion for different individuals at different times. So overall, malnutrition is a condition where for a long period of time, your diet is not balanced, out of balance. So we say it is a long-term dietary imbalance. You can't come to me today and you see that, oh, these people don't take water, oh, these people don't have fruits on their menu. Then you say they are malnourished. You have to consider me just like the diet over a long period of time. And by then, I will start to show you signs and symptoms. And if it is prolonged, then I will get nutritional disorders, which indicate an imbalance of nutrients being received by the body. And various nutrients have various disorders. Proteins have kwashiorkor, carbohydrates will show marasmus, but you will be surprised to find both occurring at the same time because nutrients occur together and they function together in a related manner. Malnutrition can be caused by so many things. At the end of the day, for us, we are saying, why aren't nutrients reaching the body? It could be a condition in the body, maybe a disease, whereby the body is not able to utilize food properly. It could be a physiological condition like pregnancy and lactation, and it makes me get malnourished as if I'm not taking the nutrients in amounts which are proportional. Consider pregnancy. When a woman is pregnant, the nutrients they are taking in are being utilized by both the fetus and themselves. So if you don't change the diet to consider the nutrient requirement of the fetus, the mother will end up undernourished. It could be an issue to do with maybe the digestive system, malabsorption, poor digestion. But when the nutrients are being taken in, now we are looking at instances where the nutrients are being taken in but the body is acting like insufficient amounts are arriving. It could be poor digestion, malabsorption, maybe there is a diseased intestine, people who have ulcers and name it, affecting digestion. Maybe even the nutrients are reacting with different substances and the amounts which I swallowed did not arrive at the absorption sites. It could be pregnancy, it could be diseases like the cancers, maybe I have a liver problem, maybe even I have a kidney problem. Many issues cause failure to reabsorb, for example, sugars, and then I may seem to be diabetic, but when I'm not actually taking in a lot of sugar, things like that. But there are external factors like someone not knowing what food is all about, how to prepare it, the nutrients required, and that can be ignorance or a reduced or low level of education. People are just not informed. It's also possible that our lifestyles can affect the food we eat. Some people are too busy to eat, too busy to cook, name it. It could be our socioeconomic status. Maybe we can't afford certain foods, yet they are the healthier foods. Usually healthy foods, organic foods, very expensive foods. It could be because of the remoteness of where we live and the availability of certain foods is a problem. It could be things like war, maybe there is famine. All those are natural calamities. They make us fail to be able to access food. But it could be our own brought on issues like dieting. I could be dieting and I say I'm going to starve myself, rid myself of food. But also there are conditions where someone is literally starved. I know prisons where people eat once a day intentionally. Why wouldn't that person get malnourished?